Hi, it's Saturday and here we are with block 20 for June Mini Madness. This is a double hourglass block, so we're going to be doing quarter square triangles today. And I'm going to show you my favorite way of doing a quarter square triangle, and that is by starting out with square units. So for our 3-inch block, we're going to need a 2 3/4 inch square of your red fabric, 2 3/4 inch square of your background fabric, and you'll also need two 2-inch squares of your blue fabric. So you can, this is a 2-color block, you can substitute any 2 colors you want for this, for your 2 hourglass squares. So to start out with, I draw a line from corner to corner on my background square. Whoops, okay, let's see. Oh. Sometimes you need a different pencil. I can just use a regular pencil for this. So you're going to draw. So you can also do this by cutting your squares in half diagonally to make triangles and sewing them together. But this is kind of a neat way of doing it, so I thought I would demonstrate it. Then you're going to sew a 1/4 inch on each side of this line. Then you're going to cut it apart on the line. And press your triangles out. So at this point you can either trim your dog ears up now, or you can trim them up when you've finished your block. So take your 2 triangles and you're going to line them up with the seam allowances all nested together and corners even. Just get this all squared up on there. You're going to mark a diagonal line on the back of this one. Whoops. Make sure you're going from corner to corner. Make sure you feel that your seam is nested up really nice there. And whenever I teach this method, people always say, oh, it's never going to line up in the middle, and then they're surprised how it does. You're going to sew that across. Going to cut that. Ta-da! See? If you nest your seams nicely, they really do match up. And so these units should finish at 2 inches for your 3-inch block and at 3.5 inches for your 6-inch block. So you might need to trim it up a little bit if your seams weren't quite right. So the way you do this is you want to lay your ruler on there. From this line to the center should measure 1 inch. So you want to put your inch from your edges just right on the crosshairs there, and then line up your diagonal line with that. Trim those off. Then you turn it. Make sure I have it turned right there. And then the same process is lining up your ruler with those marks so you see your diagonal seams should line up. So my block was just a hair too big. You can see I just trimmed off that little hair, but that'll make it match up really nicely with my other blocks. So I'll just trim this one down. They're a little easier to trim if they've been pressed with the iron, but I'm just going to do this. The nice thing about the little 3-inch blocks is it's easy to put a little cutting mat right by your sewing machine and just trim them up right where you need to. All right. So you can see I didn't trim much off that, but just a hair. But it makes it nice and square so it sews up really nicely. So you've got an hourglass and an hourglass and your solid square and your solid square. So you just sew them together like a regular 4-patch. Press toward your solid squares. Make sure your seams are all lined up in the corner there. And ta-da! There it is. This is your double hourglass block. This is block 20, and that makes us 2/3 of the way done. Tomorrow is Sunday, block 21, and we'll be having another Linky party and another giveaway. So go check out my blog tomorrow and see what you can get a chance to win. All you have to do is make one block from this week's set and you can enter. And I'm just excited to have you guys join the party. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good weekend.